think of Nicholas Walters versus Vasyl Lomachenko if you saw the fight?
Lomachenko is a special fighter. He's proven it. He's a very well-seasoned professional. And it sounds funny because he only has 9 fights, I believe, or 10 fights.
Right, 9.
And he is kind of one of the best. It does sound funny, but he has an extremely great pedigree when it comes to the amateur and the fight game. And I mean, who fights Orlando Salido in their second fight out? I mean, that in itself speaks volumes of the kind of fighter that Lomachenko really is. Personally, I expected more from the Axeman, and I think he committed, boxing's number one sin. I don't think there was any ways around it by saying he didn't quit because he said he didn't want to continue. And again, I wasn't in his corner, I wasn't in his head, but from a face value perspective, in boxing, you never want to quit. We're out there to go out on our shield. We're warriors. We're modern day gladiators. No pun intended to my nickname, but you never want to see a guy call it quits. That's not what the fans pay their hard-earned money to see, and that's not what the fans pay, to come and support those fighters. To see someone get a payday and quit.
Agreed. I'm glad to hear you say that because I said the same thing, but a lot of boxing fans who are defenders of Nicholas Walters are of the opinion that Walters lives to fight another day, and that, Walters...
Yeah, I believe that, and I'm not saying Walters is not a hell of a fighter. He's a great fighter. He had a brain fart, and he might have stepped in some dog poop that he never wanted to step in. If you go down the list of fighters that have faltered in that perspective as far as quote-unquote quitting, the only one that ever really come back from that is Roberto Duran. I mean, and the rumor has it that Roberto Duran said no mas. I know Roberto Duran, and he says specifically point blank that he's never said no mas, although he did decide not to go on with the fight. But that being said, in recent times, there's other fighters out there, case in point, I hate to say it because he's a friend of mine, but Victor Ortiz.
Yeah.
Someone that has blatantly told the referee they didn't want to continue in the fight. You can't do that in this sport, man. I don't care. In this sport, this is literally gladiator school. This is a gladiator sport. If you have that mindset, or if you're that hesitant to go into a fight, you shouldn't be in this business. Now, that's not saying that Mr. Walters is not a great fighter. He's an amazing fighter, a great fighter, and a hell of a puncher. You don't just knock out Nonito Donaire and not be a hell of a fighter. That's just one case in point. But, again, you don't want to commit career suicide by saying the words I quit or I don't want to continue in boxing.
I absolutely agree with you, man. 120%.